family betrayal, divine providence, and ancient wisdom. These themes might sound like the plot of a blockbuster movie, but they're actually from one of history's most profound stories of redemption and forgiveness. The tale of Joseph isn't just about a fancy coat and some dreams. It's about how wisdom transforms suffering into purpose.
You know what fascinates me about connecting Sirach's prayer with Joseph's story? Both texts deal with finding strength in seemingly hopeless situations.
Exactly right. And here's what's really interesting. Archaeological evidence from ancient Egypt actually confirms the possibility of 7-year famines during this period. The Nile's flooding patterns could create these exact scenarios Joseph predicted.
That's fascinating. So this isn't just a moral tale, it's grounded in historical reality.
Well, consider this. Ancient Egyptian records show that officials similar to Joseph existed foreigners who rose to high positions managing grain distribution. The title, Overseer of the Granaries of Upper and Lower Egypt, was a real position with enormous power.
The political dynamics must have been incredible. I mean, here's this Hebrew slave suddenly becoming second in command in the most powerful nation on earth.
And you know what's really mind-blowing? The storage systems Joseph likely created were incredibly sophisticated. Archaeological findings show Egyptian granaries were actually climate-controlled using advanced ventilation systems. They were basically ancient versions of modern grain silos.
That's exactly the kind of detail that makes this story so rich. But let's talk about the family drama, because that's where things get really interesting.
Oh man, the family dynamics are fascinating. Studies in ancient Near Eastern culture show that giving a special coat wasn't just about fashion, it was a legal symbol of inheritance rights. Joseph's father was essentially declaring him the primary heir, completely bypassing his older brothers.
Well, that certainly adds another layer to the brothers' reaction. They weren't just jealous of a piece of clothing.
Right. And here's something most people miss. When Joseph interprets Pharaoh's dreams, he's actually risking his life. In ancient Egypt, dream interpretation was serious business, and giving the wrong interpretation to Pharaoh could mean death.
The psychological complexity of the reunion scenes is what gets me. Joseph tests his brothers multiple times. It's like he's conducting an ancient version of family therapy.
Speaking of which, traditional Jewish commentaries point out something fascinating. The silver cup Joseph plants in Benjamin's bag? It mirrors exactly what the brothers did to him, creating a false scenario to test character. It's brilliantly calculated.
You know, that connects back to the wisdom theme in Sirach, the idea that true wisdom comes through experience and testing.
Absolutely fascinating point. And ancient wisdom literature actually shows this was a common theme. The Egyptian Instruction of Amenemopar, from roughly the same period, teaches similar lessons about patience and divine timing.
The cultural intersections here are remarkable. Joseph essentially becomes a bridge between two worlds.
And that's what makes this story so relevant today. Whether we're talking about family reconciliation or navigating cultural differences, these themes still resonate. Modern conflict resolution experts actually study this narrative for its insights into forgiveness and reconciliation.
So what do you think is the most surprising aspect of this whole narrative?
You know what really gets me? The economic foresight. Joseph essentially created the world's first documented strategic reserve system. Modern economists have actually studied his model 7 years of saving during plenty to prepare for 7 years of famine. It's basically the same principle we use for national grain reserves today.
That's such a powerful connection between ancient wisdom and modern practice.
And here's the kicker: when Joseph finally reveals himself to his brothers, he's not just offering personal forgiveness. He's demonstrating what scholars call transformative leadership, using his position of power not for revenge, but for preservation and reconciliation.
Well, that really brings everything full circle, from Sirach's gratitude for deliverance to Joseph's ultimate understanding of his journey's purpose.
Looking at these texts together, we see this incredible pattern. Wisdom isn't just about accumulating knowledge, it's about transforming adversity into opportunity. Whether it's Sirach finding strength in prayer or Joseph turning betrayal into blessing, there's this profound message about seeing beyond our immediate circumstances.